Welcome into Duval Daily, presented by GenJag.com. I'm Jordan DeLugo. Thank you so much for tuning in here on Friday, April 14th. Hope everybody's gearing up to have a fun weekend. The Jaguars, though, they have been busy. They're meeting with a lot of these prospects for the 2023 NFL draft class. They're bringing them in on visits. At first, it was just a flurry of edge prospects that the Jaguars were bringing in, and they still are meeting with a bunch of those edge guys. But you've seen some more cornerback names over the last couple days. You've seen Cam Smith out of South Carolina. You now see Tyrique Stevenson, according to Ian Rappaport of NFL Network. Tyrique Stevenson, cornerback out of Miami, meeting with the Jaguars this Sunday. I've also reportedly met with Garrett Williams out of Syracuse, another cornerback. So the Jags, they need corner depth. They need a third corner that can kind of elevate the position from where it was in 2022, in my opinion. So Tyrique Stevenson, does he fit the bill? Let's dive into it. This is a former Georgia Bulldog who transferred to Miami for his final 2 seasons. Found a lot of success for the Miami Hurricanes. Statistically pretty impressive at Miami overall. Allowed fewer than 50% of the targets in primary coverage to be completed over his 2 seasons there. 3 interceptions, 9 pass breakups over the last 2 seasons. Did not allow many completions in coverage and primary coverage at Miami, but a lot of the ones he did allow were for big plays down the field. So that's something you definitely want to kind of foil and figure out why are we giving up so many of these big plays. I think once we dive into the tape, we'll kind of figure out the answer to that question. But looking at the athletic profile prior to getting into the tape, 6 foot, 198 pounds. You really like the size that he brings to the table. 32.5-inch arms, really, really good length. Definitely great proportional length there. 4.45 40-yard dash. 1.51 10-yard split is really, really quick, really good. 38.5-inch vert, 125-inch broad. All that stuff, very impressive. Now the 3-cone and the short shuttle, not pretty. 709 3-cone, 441 short shuttle, meaning the quickness and the agility, they just are not there at a high level within his frame. Overall, though, from a size and athletic perspective, you have a really long, explosive cornerback with good overall range, but you don't have that quickness. I think he's going to need to win with length, with strength, and explosive movements and coverage at the next level. Checking the tape. You immediately see how aggressive he is against the run. That pops off. He fires downhill like a safety and he packs a punch, but there are some inconsistencies at times with the angles, with the form on some of those tackles, so you just want to see a little bit more discipline there. You can see the length, like I said, and the explosive movements really quickly. He's an impediment for completing close quarter passes just due to that size, due to that length, that physicality, and again, the explosive movements. Played a lot of off at Miami. I think playing more press at the next level probably going to be his calling card, and he did have plenty of reps in press at Miami, but they played a lot of off coverage as well. I think he's at his best when he's allowed to use his length and strength to disrupt and reroute receivers. That's where you want him. You want him making contact early in the routes. Not immune to missed assignments, not immune to being fooled by his eyes. And that's the type of stuff that can lead to 6 points at cornerback. And that's the type of stuff that leads to him allowing some of those deep completions down the football field, unfortunately. And I think the lack of change of direction, the stiffness, can show up at the top of the route stem. When you've got a really good route runner, they can kind of leave him in the dust at the top of the route stem. Does have some makeup speed. So you do like that, the fact that he can kind of catch up after the receiver can gain some ground early. Tyrique Stevenson can catch up usually in those situations. Like I said, I think he needs to play press at the next level to best utilize his skill set. We'll see where he lands, what type of defense he lands in. We'll see. But I think the lack of quickness and agility could cap his upside. He plays the game with an aggressive demeanor, which you like. He has excellent length and strength, which you like. The explosiveness is there. The speed is there. But the stiffness at the top of the routes does lead to some concern for me. I do think with more discipline, he could be a quality starting outside corner in the league. When it comes to the Jaguars, they need more talented cover corners, right? They want to upgrade CB3. They want to get better at nickel. Right now you have Tyson Campbell and Darius Williams projected outside corners, Trey Herndon in the nickel. I think if you can upgrade that spot, you can feel really good about where the Jaguars defense is going in 2023. Do I think Stevenson would upgrade the Jaguars' overall talent level at corner? Without question. He is a talented prospect coming into the league. I'm just not sure how much he improves the Jaguars in base or nickel in year one. If you stick him outside opposite Tyson Campbell and play Darius Williams in the slot, how much better does that make you than having Darius Williams outside and Herndon in the slot? I'm not too sure, honestly. I just think in year one, there's going to be some discipline issues. There's going to be some issues, like I said, with the quickness, with the agility. I'm not sure at all. I don't think you would want Tyrique Stevenson playing in the slot for you either. I just don't think he has that change of direction to really thrive there. So it's an interesting projection for Tyrique Stevenson to the Jaguars. I think he would, again, definitely upgrade the overall talent level. Does he come in and find a starting role immediately in Jacksonville? That's my question. I'm not sure. And I think there are a lot of cornerbacks in this class that absolutely would be able to find their way into the starting lineup, whether that be outside or at nickel in year one, and upgrade the overall production from the position. Many have a second on Tyrique Stevenson. I look at him more as a third-round grade. And in this class, as I mentioned, that's going to land you behind a ton of other cornerback prospects. This is an insanely talented class at the position. The Jaguars should invest in it in multiple spots. But for me, Tyrique Stevenson carries a third-round grade, and that's actually going to land him a little bit outside of my top 100. So I think he would present really good value early on day 3, late day 2. The Jaguars, they pick at 24, 56, 88. Of course, they could move up or down the board at various spots. If they landed him at 88, I think that would definitely be a worthy investment. But my guess would be there would be some corners on the board that I would probably still value a little bit higher than Tyrique Stevenson at 88 overall. Would love to know what you guys think, though. Hit me up on Twitter at Jordan DeLugo. You can also follow Generation Jaguar at Generation Jag. Hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think. You can also subscribe and review on your podcast platform of choice. Hope you all have a great weekend, Duval.